Hello, so today I have some backpacks that I want to hang up and display in my closet, and currently there is some unused space, so let's go check it out. Okay, so here is the deal for today. This is my closet, and as you can see, the space isn't super well utilized at this point. It's just one bar and then a shelf, standard builder grade stuff. First I need to fix that, and then I will be putting up hooks for a bunch of backpacks that I think are really cute, and I haven't really been able to put anywhere other than in bins, and I'd like to be able to see them. Here are some of the backpacks that I would like to display. As you can see, most of them, these are brand new, but they have little hooks at the top, places to hold onto them, and these are what I'm going to be using to hang them up with. Okay, so I've stained this piece of wood. You can see my gloves that I use. This is the stain. It's a Kona color. It looks terrible because I've used it a lot. Now I'm going to try to put this upstairs, and yep, it's perfectly dry now. So it's been drying for like a day. These are the hooks that I would like to use. They're very heavy duty, and they're actually shelf brackets that would have been used for putting up shelves, but we have some extras here, fortunately 6, and I will be able to place them basically onto this board like so, and have them kind of run along the whole thing. That way I know that they're secure on something nice and strong, which is this strong piece of pine, and then I will be putting this into the studs. Okay, so I have now lined up all of the backpacks. This is about the spacing that I'm gonna want. I'm gonna do some measuring to make sure that all the measurements are a little bit more even, but other than that, looks pretty good. Okay, so here's my very basic process where I'm just taking a measuring tape. This board is 58 inches. I wanted it to be symmetrical on either side, so I noticed that I need this to be about in 7 inches, which means this one is in 7 inches, and I'm going to mark inside of the holes to drill. And then I had the space in between left, so this ended up being 15, 14, and 15 inches. So not exactly perfect, but I think it'll look pretty evenly spaced, and that will be enough room for all of these bags. And of course it'll be symmetrical, which is more important to me, so I put the shorter measurement on the inside. Right now is the fun part of trying to see if I have any screws that will actually work for this project. So I try to organize all of the screws that I have from past projects into bins. This is one of those bins, and I'm looking right now and I'm a little concerned because I need it to not go past here, but be thick enough here, and ideally be black. I just set up my ladder here and tried fitting this on before I put any of the hooks on, and I'm glad I did because I made the horrible mistake that many have made before me, which is assuming that because between there and there is 58 inches, or between there and there is 58 inches, and measuring all of these spots, that between there and there would also be 58 inches. It is not. It is 57.5 inches, which sucks because even some of these were like 58.5. So I thought that I was giving myself a slightly shorter board and that would easily fit. But now I have to cut a little bit off of each end because I don't want to change the marks that I already made for the hooks. So, okay. This way at least you get to see my process, which is take this bad boy out, get out my power tools bin, pull out this saw and this right here, and maybe 2 of these clamps. Grab this piece of wood, since I want to do both sides, I'm just letting it hang over both sides, and I'll cut it on this side and cut it on this side. And now I need to just quickly measure it. Okay, so I found a piece of wood here that is actually 1/4 of an inch from the other side. That's perfect. I need to take off 1/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to line this up perfectly here. And I'm going to mark. I don't even know if I'm in the frame. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I'm going to grab my safety goggles. And then just pop this here and hope for the best. Okay. Beautiful, nice and straight. Okay, next one on this side. Here we go. Great. More for me to sweep up. Huzzah. Okay. Now, what I must go do is check and make sure that this is gonna fit. Okay, so the good news is this board now fits up there. The bad news is that even when I hang this piece, I just tested it, this backpack from the board where I originally marked for the pieces to go, the straps hang down a little bit into these bins here. So the backpack is just a little too tall. So I'm going to figure out something else. I might actually try hanging them on it like this on the top here, which would get rid of the nice little hook, but I don't actually know if that's really necessary given how long this thing is. Even with this all the way up at the top here, like so, which is as far as it can go up with the hook facing up, it's still touching a little bit on the bottom. Not ideal. Let's see what it looks like flipped. So the flipped version here can definitely get closer to the ceiling, and it is no longer touching, which is really nice. But this might make it a little bit more difficult to actually get the backpacks off. So I might have to let it touch a little bit because I do want to be able to easily get the backpacks off with a little grabby arm. So after drilling the holes with this, I ended up using these silver wood screws because they ended up just working a little bit better. And I screwed them all in. And there you go. Okay, so I have marked these 3 tape pieces as where the studs are. These 2 pieces of tape are, like the bottoms of them are showing where the board actually ends all the way along the top. So there is like a whole big board basically up there, which I'll be able to screw this to, which will make it a little bit easier. I'll pre-drill some top holes basically, which will make it nice and easy to put it up first. And then I'll do another securing hole at the bottom when I actually have it up. All right, so we are almost done here. I have the screws on the top, which I will say was very annoying to do. I can only get into my closet, I'll show you. I can only get into my closet on this side. This side I have a case here, so I can't put a ladder there, and then this door stops me from putting anything there. So I have to like weirdly bend while not putting any pressure, which was annoying, but I got it in there and even got the one all the way in that corner. Last thing to do is just to put a little screw on the tape, probably just 2, one right there and one right there, into the studs as well for the base of the board. So the board is held up with 5 screws right now into the top stud, and another 2 will be 7, and that should be plenty. Probably overkill, but plenty fine for this bag hanging contraption. All right, here's the moment of truth. So I have this. Let's see if I can hang it. Oh God. Oh God. Nope. Let me try this again. I think I'm gonna need one of those hook thingies instead of this. Yeah, this bad boy isn't gonna work. Okay, I kept trying and it worked, but I think I'm going to need a different tool. Okay, here it is. It is complete. If you look at the whole closet here, you can see the hooks look pretty nice. And I might paint where the screws are eventually so they just blend in with the wood, but other than that, pretty good. Right now I have 2 backpacks layered there, but all the rest is just one. And I honestly think one looks better, so I might just do the one just for display. All right, so that's that project. You can see it in the wider context of the room. What do you guys think? Let me know if you're going to be trying something like this soon. Thank you for watching.